What we're going to do, we're going to do a little bit of a live stream here, kind of for everyone in Evolution Traders. So even for some of you general chat members who have just kind of recently joined the room, kind of just going to watch some levels here. And what we're going to do is kind of see what we can pick off. Let's see if anything kind of sets up towards the top of the hour here. What I'm looking at on the NASDAQ futures side is 30-minute time frame right now. So I'll be looking for the top of the hour for 15,244 to kind of confirm. So that 15,244 is the area that we're going to be looking to have confirmed. You can see we've kind of held the bottom of the range here at around 15,175. We've got Tesla pulling back a little bit. Tesla did give us that pop that I put in the gold members chat room over the 239. So over 239 here, and Tesla's actually coming in very, very significantly here. So we got to watch Tesla here. We've got the NQ futures moving up, but we've got Tesla moving down here. So Tesla's moving down into its 5-minute, 20-minute support here. But Tesla put in that initial spike here. I did put in a little bit of a limit order on the Tesla, and I sold as we were approaching this 240.76. Again, this was a very, very quick scalp. Again, for experienced traders only who are looking to take that type of scalp move there, because you know, an inexperienced scalper would have seen this pop, expected more, not knowing that we had a level of supply here, and then watched it pull all the way back down on them. So again, that 15,244 on the futures is the level that I'll be looking for to really start to confirm towards the top of the hour. And then that way we can kind of see, you know, what we have going on for some continuation, right? We want to see if, you know, can the bulls get into that day two sort of little rally, right? So yesterday we had a little bit of a good dead cat bounce. We want to see, can we get the day two rally, and kind of just see where things stand there. So again, you know, the 15,244 level has been breached. That was the initial opening little range there on the 5-minute time frame. This level will get adjusted closer to 7 a.m. that I have here. This little dotted line will get adjusted here. So we just want to keep watching to see, you know, how far are we going to kind of push up here on the NASDAQ futures in the first 30 minutes. That correlates with the first hour candle of the day. So good little move here, 15,256. Okay, so 15,256. So again, I'll just keep adjusting this higher until the first hour candle closes, which first hour candle, all that means is just the first 30 minutes after the market opens. So from 6:30 to 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then, you know, obviously look at, I mean, here's NVIDIA again, just absolute rock star. Look at NVIDIA over the pre-market highs, 448 all the way into 451. This stock is an absolute monster. Gosh, that's an absolute monster of a move. You know, because anytime you can catch something that quick off the bell, 447.87, you know, that this is what you would be looking for, you know, for those of you guys who play options. The 448 area, you'd be looking for the first 5-minute candle. Confirm that, get long, you know, kind of either use the 5, 10, or 20-day moving average as your stop. And then if we close below it, you know, just kind of get out. And then, you know, you get that $1.50, $2, especially on, especially when something moves that quickly in your favor. You just take your profits and then you kind of set the highs, see what we stopped at in that first hour, and then kind of take it from there. So right now what we have, I'm going to go back to the 5-minute time frame here on the NQ futures. So if we just kind of look at where we came into so far, the 15,259 is our resistance. But another reason why this area is acting as resistance is it's the 200-day moving average. Okay, so the 200-day moving average is a very, very big level when it comes to any supply or demand zones. Okay, so we came maybe 4 or 5 handles from touching a 200-day moving average and an immediate pullback. Look at the pullback here that we're looking at on the NQ. So again, you know, very big pop, very big drop. So even though we're going to kind of give the bulls the benefit of the doubt, You know, they need to prove something to us, right? They have to show us that, you know, they're here still, right? That yesterday wasn't a fluke. um I was also watching Amazon this morning as well. Beautiful pop here on Amazon. Same thing here. Over those pre-market highs, the 140.50 all the way up to 141.28. So that's a hell of a move here. You know, if you kind of look at the ATR on Amazon, it's 37.40 cents. So if you can get a scalp where, you know, you're going to essentially risk 40 cents on the trade and you can make 40 cents on the trade, you know, that is a 1R. If you can make anything more than that, you know, 60 cents, 80 cents, you're talking about a 2R. So these are scalp plays that I'm talking about, right? This is not like, you know, you're going to get in over that pre-market high and you're just going to hold this because you're expecting Amazon to go to 145 or nothing like that, right? You have to understand how much does Amazon even move. It's going to move 40 cents, 50 cents at a time. So, you know, if you can take 75 cents, a dollar off of Amazon, that's a hell of a trade. That's a hell of a trade. So we'll just kind of see what the market does here. Let it digest a little bit. Again, price action moves very, very quickly in the morning. Amazon's had a complete reversal here, going to lose its 200-day moving average. So I'm actually going to go to the hourly chart. And now I go to the hourly charts to kind of see, you know, where are the bigger levels of intraday support and resistance. NQ futures are pulling back as well. So Amazon came up, tested its after hours highs as well as the Bollinger Band, immediately just reversed here. So this is a very nasty pool right now. Sellers are definitely in control. Sellers are definitely in control here. Just going to kind of watch this price action a little bit. Look at the hourly chart here on the Qs, which is the NASDAQ. So anything below 15,175 on the NASDAQ could get aggressive here. I'm going to mark out the pre-market lows here, or the overnight session lows on the futures, just to kind of watch this range. So we've created a little bit of a range from, you know, the opening 5-minute candles to those overnight session lows. So the 15152 is the area to the downside that we would be looking to take advantage of, and then anything over 15259. So essentially we're looking at 100 handle or 100 point range on the NASDAQ to kind of see, you know, what's going to set up, right? So until one of these ranges is broken, you would be thinking to buy going long or bounce towards the bottom of the range, and you would be looking to sell, go short towards top of the range. And that becomes invalid as soon as one of these ranges breaks. Okay, so, you know, as soon as we get over this range, you know, we give the respect to the bulls. As soon as we get below this range, we give respect to the bears. But everything else in between here, you know, you can play little bounces. You can kind of look for little chart patterns where you can take a little bit of a scalp here. So right now you're getting a 20 place setup on the NQ futures. So what I would look for is, if this does confirm, your entry would be somewhere around 15187. But again, you know, this candle's got 4 minutes before it closes, so that price can change. But for example, we would be looking to get short there and then just sell for profits on the way down. We're not going to expect this level to break down here. We're just going to sell for profits on the way down, because what happens when we're in a range, as soon as we get closer to the bottom of the range, we have to start looking for the reversal for the bounce back up. So let's just kind of see how this plays out. Again, I don't know if I'm going to take this scalp to the downside, you know, and the reason being is this is a lot of price action here, and then we have this level of demand here. So, you know, it'd have to be a quick scalp. And again, I don't know if I want to rush it. I don't know if I want to rush it. but I will be watching Tesla. So Tesla's 1 hour time frame is just broke pre-market lows. I'm watching Tesla now to the downside. It just set up a 20 play here that confirmed 236.71 down to 235.80s. It's got room down to 233. So let me kind of tell everyone here. Tesla hour chart. The guys who have been with me for a while know what that means. So again, for some of you guys who haven't been here for a while, the Tesla, if I just say something like Tesla hour chart, that means put eyes on the hourly chart. Take a look. You'll know what I'm talking about here. Look at the reversal on the hourly chart. Look at the hourly chart taking out the pre-market lows. You're essentially looking for your confirmation there. Okay, you're essentially looking for your confirmation, and your confirmation is going to be at the 7 o'clock hour. So in 12 minutes. We do have about 20 points here on the NASDAQ futures into the linear regression. You know, 15152 down to 15132. Maybe that's enough room. You know, maybe that's enough room. Again, when you're analyzing your trades, when I'm using the big boy chart, it's really to so I can assess how much room do I have before the next supply or demand zone. Is it enough, right? Is it enough? For me, I would rather see the 200-day moving average get broken to the top side. Look at the 5-minute time frame up here. There's nothing up here. Right? Open skies. So that can give you a little bit of a better move versus, you know, if this was to close under the 20, which it's getting bought back up, but if this does close under the 20, you know, we've got a lot of price action to the left. We've got the Bollinger Band here. We've got 15152, and then we've got 15130. So I'd rather take open skies than a lot of demands, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. We got to take what we can get. But again, no rush. If a trade like that makes you uneasy or uncomfortable, you don't have to take it. You can just wait. And especially with 10 minutes left before the first hour candle closes, we can you know, wait 10 minutes essentially and kind of see, you know, what our true opening range is. Okay, so I'm going to look at the hourly candles here. So if you look at the hourly candles on NQ, you know, it looks better through 15174 and 15152, which is the lows. That's got a lot of room down. So I would be interested in 15152 to the downside on an hourly candle confirmation. Get in on a scalp and then manage it on the 5-minute time frame to use as a stop. So I'm going to look at the hourly candles now, just due to the fact that the hourly candles are going to start adjusting here in 9 minutes. Meta is also something I would be interested in here. 303.25 has room down to 301. 303.25. That's something to take a look at as well. So we can watch that as well. Meta. I'm going to actually get my contracts loaded here on my other screen just in case this does confirm. So in this particular case here on Meta, if I'm looking at a 303.21 pivot that needs to get confirmed, I would be looking at potentially 302.50 strikes. And again, I'm not looking for this to go down to 295 or 298, although that would be great. I'm looking at it 303, looking at cover profits 301, 301.50, 301.70, something into the linear regression, which is the blue line here. Okay. So those contracts right now are running about 365 a pop. So on something like this, I'd take my normal sizing, which would be 10 contracts. So I'd be looking at somewhere in the vicinity market order, depending on where I get filled, about 3,500 bucks, right? So that's $3,500 in on the trade. And again, you don't really need a lot, right? You don't need if you get $1 on $3,500, you know, those will move enough, right? But why I like watching the futures while I'm watching stocks for my options trades is because if I see a stock, like particularly Meta here, that's hanging out towards the bottom, but now I'm looking at the NQ starting to bounce, that creates a little bit of a divergence, like a confluence of negativity, because of the fact that I'm looking at my stocks index, which is the NQ, bounce, but I'm looking to go short, right? So, you know, that's one thing that you have to kind of pay attention to. For those of you guys who trade on the option side of things, you don't really want to be going against your index, although, you know, sometimes the stock that you're playing, for example, it could be Microsoft or Apple or even Meta, you know, holds a very, very big weight in the NQ. So if they do start to give up those levels, you will see the NASDAQ 100 start to pull as well. And this also goes for options guys. Futures guys. So if you guys are just watching the futures, of course, yeah, this is the NASDAQ 100 as a whole, but sometimes it's good to take a look at Apple. It's good to take a look at Google, Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, right? What are they doing? If they're all pulling and you see that the NASDAQ is getting ready to lose a level, that gives you strong confluence that potentially this level on the NQ is going to get broken. They hold a lot of weight, right? Those big seven, right? The big seven is what they call them. You know, your Meta, your Apple, your Amazon, your Microsoft, Nvidia, Google, right? All of these stocks, they hold so much weight in the NASDAQ 100 that it only realistically takes 2 or 3 of these stocks to start giving up levels or, you know, screaming higher, and you're going to see the NQ follow with it. So vice versa, right? Whether you trade options or you trade NQ, you know, it's kind of good to see what's going on in the market. So we've got 5 minutes before this candle closes, and we can see Meta working its way down towards that 303.20. Now, as of now, it is below the pre-market lows. So, you know, you could have an aggressive scalper who is short now, and they're kind of monitoring it with the 5-minute time frame or a smaller time frame here. Look at when it really confirmed the 20 play, it lost to 200 at 304. It's down about $1. So you might be considering selling, you know, half size here. Someone looking to start their position needs to wait at this point in time. I'm going to keep my eyes close on this because I don't want to miss it. Next thing you know, I start bouncing around charts, and then this is down $1 and I missed it. So I'm going to kind of keep this on watch here. And I might risk $1 on this trade, you know, give it 304.15. If it closes back over, I might get out. So again, patience here, 3 minutes until this new hour candle opens up. Yeah, so just kind of checking the price on what it would cost me to get in right now. I'm looking at about $3,700 right now, 3706. So that would be my entire risk on the trade. Again, that doesn't mean I'm willing to risk $3,700. No, no, no. That just means how much I'm going in on the trade. That's, what my overall essential risk is if these contracts went to zero. But I don't plan on risking $3,700, right? I have a stop loss in mind, a dollar maybe. I might lose, 300-400 bucks, but got to be, if you're willing to make 300-400-500 bucks, you got to be willing to lose 300-400-500 bucks. It goes for the same thing on the NQ side of things. That's why I always preach, trade these micros first. Yeah, everyone wants to make $500 or $1,000 on, a futures trade, but are you willing to lose $1,000? And how many $1,000 losses can you take before your account's blown up? Or you lose your funded account, right? So again, trade micros, right? Risk $100, risk $150. Even with a small account where you have $2,000 worth of drawdown, you can lose 15, 20 trades in a row before you would blow up. And the odds of someone losing 15, 20 trades in a row following their strategy and using the edge is slim to none, guys. Slim to none. You might lose a string of 2 or 3 trades. Maybe you're down $200 or $300, but you can easily get that back in 1 trade, in 2 trades, and then everything from that is now profit, right? So hang in there. It's all about, series of trades. So we've got 45 seconds before the new hour candle opens. So essentially the futures have given back all of um, the initial spike. They've given back the initial spike. And give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to run downstairs. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to run downstairs really, really quickly. What's going on, guys? Boom. So this is the play that I was looking for, the 303.26 on Meta. So you can see first hourly candle got confirmed, 303.26. Was looking for that dollar push here. We got the great move here on Meta. That's what I was looking for. Anyone who was sitting on here gave that level out clear as day, and you know, as to what I was looking for. So let me finish scaling out this position here. So it does have potential to 301.30s, but again, down $1. I always want to take profits off. That was the move that we were looking for. So again, you know, looking at the hour candle, let the first 30 minutes of the market digest, see where you're at, see if you have some room to kind of go down. So 303.26, that level gets marked out. Obviously to the top side, the level will get marked out. And then you just sit and wait for confirmation on a 5-minute time frame. So go to the 5-minute time frame. You can see we came down here at 6:45 in the morning. That was our lows. We kind of bounced. We got rejected at the 200. We came down again at 6:55, tested it, and look at 7 a.m. confirms. Boom, you get in, you ride this Bollinger Band all the way down, and it gets some continuation. Ultimately, I would be looking for it to go to 301.24, but that does not mean I'm not going to sell out of some profits here. I'm probably going to take this down to 2-3 contracts. NASDAQ futures also put in a hell of a run here. You know, confirming the 1577, confirmed that at 6:55, and then really started to flush here at 7 a.m. on that new hour candle, came all the way down to its linear regression. And I'm honestly just going to take me down to 1 contract now on Meta, and I'm going to leave that to break even. So what that means is that current contract, I took 10 of these contracts, that current contract is up $45. So I'll kind of let that stagger around. And, you know, I don't want that contract to go red. So the reason for the bounce, if we notice the NQ futures, notice where the NQ futures are at. We're at a big level of support here. That's this linear regression channel. So this linear regression channel here is going to hold as a short-term support on a 5-minute time frame. So you could get a little bounce, consolidation. And if we're going to continue, then we would flush through that. If not, this is going to be a good spot for the market to kind of reverse itself and try to bounce itself back up. Ultimately, you know, you would look for stocks to get down into the next level of supply. So as we're breaking this level now, we have to go to a bigger time frame to see what's next. And on the futures, that would be on the hourly chart for me, and you can see we've got a lot of room down here. So ultimately down to 15.055. What I did not want to see today from the bulls is for us to give away all of that move yesterday, right? So look at what happened today. We came up, we tested the 10-day moving average, the 50. It looked really good yesterday to, you know, get some continuation for the bulls. But if we take price action back down to the bottom of the range, and that range is going to be around 15.030s, 15.020s, essentially yesterday was for nothing. Then I would be looking at the big macro level here, and that's 15.016 to go down to below 15,000. Let's just put it that way. You know, that's not really what you wanted to see here if the bulls were going to, you know, have some strength. The last thing you want to see is them reclaim their 50-day moving average and then give it all back literally on the next day. That is not showing you strong price action from the bull side of things. Okay, so this glass contract's up $55. Probably just gonna sell it here. I don't really like when you go up that much, you don't really feel like holding on anymore. Just give it a minute here. Let's see if we get one more little push down for me here. And sometimes you kind of really have to tell yourself, right? I started with 10 contracts at 303.26. I took the 302.50 strikes. We're currently trading at 302.24. So these contracts are already in the money. You know, even if this goes down another 20-30 cents, I'm really squeezing water out of a rock on one contract, right? I mean, this contract's up $42 and around 50 cents. How much more am I going to make on one contract? Another $10, another $20. Like, You know, sometimes you have to analyze it like that. Like, is it really worth it to just continue to hold for another 10, 15 bucks? Maybe, maybe not, right? I'll just give it a minute here, maybe another minute and a half, see if we can break that low. Oh, good. Good, good, good. You got it, Penguin. Nice. I was typing in the other chat room. I didn't see that you already sold your Nvidia. Great move, buddy. That's what it's all about there. Trust the levels. But also, like I was telling Penguin in the chat, you know, when you're playing these stocks like Nvidia and Tesla, you know, it breaks a specific level, you get in, next thing you know, it's bouncing against you, and now you're kind of like, oh man, what's going on? These are big boy stocks. Like the ATR on this is, you know, $2.80, between $2 and $3. So if it goes against you, it can bounce $1.50 right after entry, almost $2. And it's like that the move hasn't even had enough time to digest and actually stop you out yet, because that's just the range. That's just the nature of the beast, right? So it's like you have to give it that space. And it's like if you don't want to, then you can't play those stocks, because in Nvidia's particular case, like I was telling Penguin, you know, this thing is still under supply, so it's still under its 5 minute 5 day moving average. Like you can't sell it because you're down, but you're still under all levels of resistance. You got to give it a little bit more time to work out. Like, so if you can't stomach those type of moves, makes it really, really hard to, you know, play those stocks. You'd have to play smaller stocks. But I mean, when they go in their favor, they go in your favor, right? So, and I've had enough time here with Meta, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just get rid of it. Current contract's up $40. Probably give back a little bit more here by the time I get out. Not too bad. So 410 on 10 contracts. It's not a bad way to start the morning. Again, you know, Meta could test 301.20s by the end of the day. So short-term bound, it could be a short-term hold area here on the NQ 5 minute time frames at the bottom of the channel here. So again, we essentially traded from the top of the channel down to the bottom of the channel. That's all that really happened. That's all that really happened there. So if we look at the hourly time frame here, we can see, you know, we've breached all levels here. We kind of came down to the Bollinger Band, wicked below it. Now you can see a little bit of a wick back up. So what you would be looking for now essentially would be continuation through 15121. That would be, you know, another area where we could potentially see a little bit more of a slide. Right now, we are dead center in the middle of the range. Top of the range being 15212, bottom of the range being 15054. We're right smack dab in the middle of the range here. So we've got a lot of supply to the upside. We've got really nothing to the downside. So, you know, the market could continue to just keep washing just because there's less levels of support down to the next level of support than pushing higher. There's a lot more levels of supply pushing higher, if that makes sense. But again, you know, we just have to give it some time. Allow your setups to happen. Again, the last setup that we had here on NQ, you know, realistically came at 6:55 in the morning, and that was short here through this level. So 15174 had room down to 15154. That's 20 points. We should have snagged that there. I played very small size. Only played two micros, 57 bucks. Nothing. Nothing to be excited about. Some coffee money, right? But again, you know, I'll look to piece together, you know, futures days like that, right? So, you know, $57 one time, if you can snag another 30, you can snag another 20, snag another 40, you know, take one or two more trades, you can piece together a $100 or $200 day relatively stress-free versus trying to get into one move and just like hold. That's tough to do, especially when things start bouncing against you and you're in drawdown. You know, I'd rather take the quick cash and stack days, right? Stack days. So good little bounce spot here on the video, coming off that 150 simple day moving average. It still has a lot of work to do. Again, futures, I'd be looking for realistically maybe 15131 short into 15121. That's 10 handles there if you're a quick scalper, or you know, you can give it that room, trail it with a tight stop, maybe the 5 SMA or the 1 bar stop, and then see if we can break through the 15122. Futures are down 134 right now as we speak. So, you know, how much more can they go down? I don't know, maybe 200, right? Take us from 130 to 200. This essentially from these lows of the 21s down to the 1505 or 15041 at the bottom of the range is essentially 60-70 points. So that would put us down 200. Like if you're looking at the futures be down 200, 205, 190, we would be trading at the bottom of the range here. And that would ultimately be a bounce spot. This is a short-term pit stop here. This is a speed bump bounce spot. But if we lose it and we start to close below it, we would be looking at targeting 15041 for the next wave, right? And again, guys, I gotta run really quick. I got an errand to do with my son really quick. I'll be back in about 30-40 minutes, and I'll probably actually jump on live again just due to the fact that this one was short. But what I want you guys to really watch is the 15129 one that has room into 120s. Watch that, or watch the bounce back over the 5 and back into this range. Remember the range that I drew from this morning, guys? So we had that opening range here at the top, which is the red dotted line, and then we had those overnight session lows range. If we can get back into this range, okay, if we can get back into this range, potentially we can be bouncing into the 174s. So that's how you analyze the price action. Tesla confirmed its hourly and then came right back. So 235.82 down to 235.20. It only dropped 50 cents here. It's got resistance at 237 and got resistance at 238. That goes back to me telling you guys, if you're going to play these stocks and it goes against you, you got to be able to sit through that pain. If you can't, you got to use a smaller time frame or smaller size or trade a different stock. You do got the futures bouncing back into the range now, so that should carry some of these stocks higher. But the 5-minute time frame here, you know, ultimately 237.15s is what I would be looking for Tesla to kind of stay below this range here, and then push lower. Your second entry for a short position would be below 235.38. And your measured potential would be somewhere in 234, 233.70s. Amazon had a hell of a washout down to the bottom of its range. So look at the last 20 play on Amazon, guys. 139.50. First take profit was 138.90s, and then hold runners, right? Sell half position, hold runners, and then sell on the way down to the next supply. If you're in Amazon short, I'd be thinking about getting out of Amazon short now. You're at a short-term bounce spot here, 137.88. So futures have lost the linear regression channel, and now they're testing the day's lows here, 15.121 area. Amazon also coming down into that linear regression as well, 137.86s. Take profits on the way down. First attempt at a new low of day is getting bounced here at, or getting hung up here, actually short-term wise on the Bollinger Band. So definitely keep that in mind. If we're going to go down anymore, we've got to really get below that Bollinger Band for prices to accelerate. And it needs to stay below 15.131. Look at this move here. 1 hour chart, right? I made a video on this yesterday. It's in the training, one of the training channels. And if you go to that 30-minute time frame, which is the 1 hour lows, because it's 30 minutes after the market opens, look at the lows here, 15.152. That was your short position. You didn't even have to wait for or get involved in all of the action off the bell. You could have waited 30 minutes, let the hour candle close, and then get your confirmation, right? 15152 was the short position into 15115, right? Take profits on the way down. That's 30-40 points, guys. You know, like that's how you can just essentially let the market open, sit on your butt, wait for price to just digest, give it 30 minutes, let the new hour candle open, and then take that breakdown. That's an easy short position. I wish I would have took more size. That's the only thing I wish. Took more size. Damn it. Short-term bounce spot here. Someone could take Amazon long at 137 and then use like 137.80 as a stop. Maybe 30 cents worth of risk here. And actually, I'm going to do that. This is a high risk trade again because you're trying to essentially time the bottom, but we're at a level of support here. So what I'm going to do here, this candle closes in 2.5 minutes. $138 strikes, and I'm going to use 137.80 as a stop. See if we can catch a little bit of a dead cat bounce here on that. Again, playing with house money here. Tesla breaking down below its lows here. Looking for it to kind of hold this area. You got the futures bouncing here. Good little bounce here on NAS. Back over its 5 SMA on the NASDAQ. It's got a lot of work to do to the upside though. Simply just a dead cat. This is not like reversal territory here. This is not like, you know, markets going all the way back up to high of day. This is just a short-term bounce at a level of demand. I'd be looking for rejection here on the Q somewhere in this area, the lows range, right? So you would be looking for, if we get up into this area, you know, do we pitter patter around and then fall back down? Again, if you're long here off the bounce, back into the channel, you know, take your profits on the way up. Very risky trade to bounce this candlestick here. One second, guys. And we're going to cut the Amazon position short loss here. This candle going to close in 4 minutes. Yeah, we're just going to cut this position at a very, very small loss. So down 105 on the Amazon bounce that I tried. And again, I tried the bounce here. I was looking for the 137.80s to kind of hold up. Did not hold up, broke down below it. So I'm not going to really mess around. So down 110 on Amazon. Not too bad there. Still green on the day. But again, that's how you keep your losses small, right? You want to keep your losses extremely small. And you want to let your winners win. So good little washout here in the market. Good little washout here in the market. Nvidia below 437's got room to 436.11. Tesla had a good washout through the 235. Let's see. That opening range candle, opening 30-minute candle was here. So 235.85, put in a new low to 235.15, and then push down to 234.40s. So about $1.25 on the opening range breakdown on Tesla. Not too bad. Tesla continuing to wash here. It's got a little bit more space to go, maybe another dollar. We look at the daily chart on Tesla, essentially gave back all of yesterday's bounce. So what this looks like now on a daily chart on Tesla, basically yesterday we were coming up to the 5-day moving average. We tested its daily 5-day moving average. That's why I'm saying the 5-day moving average is so significant on the daily time frame. If you're trading below that, the momentum is to the downside. If you're trading above that, the momentum's to the upside. So essentially, Tesla has room to test yesterday's lows here at, 233.66, and then ultimately, its support is sitting at 231s. So 231s on Tesla would be, the ultimate short-term bounce spot for a dead cat bounce. 230, 231 area. That is the 100 EMA. Tesla's been trading below its 5-day moving average since it gapped down, essentially on the first of the month here. So for 2 weeks, we've been power trending on the daily below. So, you have to be thinking short, 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 short. You're below the 5-day moving average, you're thinking short. You get over it, now you're thinking long. That's how you can play your scalps as well. No real setup here on the NQ yet. Move is just a continuation move, so we should have already been short or taken a trade short on the NQ, and now we're just kind of hanging tight. But essentially there's nothing going on right now on the NQ where it's causing for immediate attention to be in some type of position. essentially everything's last 20 play was a go. Even Google 130.50 traded down to 129.70. And this is what the majority of trading is. It's waiting. It's waiting for levels to confirm. It's waiting inside of your trades. It's waiting for levels to get broken down. That's it, guys. A lot of this is, it's not real exciting work. You know, we're not doing brain surgery here. You know, that's why there's no real reason to let emotions and stress get to you when it comes to trading. I mean, this is quite simply just a waiting game of patience, and then pushing your chips to the middle of the table and then letting the stock do its job. So again, another little bit of a dead cat bounce here on the NQ back into the range, right? So here we are, guys, an hour after the market is open. What are we going to do? Are we going to continue to put in new lows? Are we going to get a little bit of a bounce? This is a short-term reversal candle here on Tesla. Again, you know, if someone's going to bounce Tesla here, you're looking at support, or excuse me, supply here, 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 here. So it's going to be a bit of a tough road. Your stop loss is 234.25, right? Your stop loss is 224.35. Again, you don't want to get into a habit of always trying to time these bottom bounces like this. But again, sometimes they work, and when they work, you do catch the bottom, but you can use a tight stop, right? Like your stop is tight. So if you've got buying power to take 2 or 3, 4 trades, you know, the amount you're going to lose is a little bit of money. But again, you know, you have to understand you're going way against trend here. You're going way against trend. But you know, just if you just read price action in the candlesticks, it could be, if you get over this 5-day moving average on a 5-minute time frame, it could be a bounce spot, and you can use the lows as a stop. NASDAQ futures are at the daily 50 EMA. They start to lose that below 15,107, could wash out to the lows of yesterday. If they want to bounce it from here, this would ultimately be the spot, right? The bulls, if the bulls give this area up, market's going to wash here. And notice that reversal candle that I was talking about on Tesla. So this is what's a reversal candlestick. It's an indecision candlestick, right? So if you look at it, when green starts to take out red, which is this reversal candlestick, you know, 234.98, it's up 25 cents. I mean, is that enough for you to make some money? I don't know. It depends on your size, but I would ultimately look for it to push into 235.50s before it gets rejected, and then 235.85. So again, if you take this low as a stop, you get in on the confirmation of this candle. You want to be taking profits very, very quickly. Very, very quickly, right? We got the futures testing its 5 minute 10. So ultimately, if we start pushing above that, 15,152s is what I would be looking for, the next area to start reaching towards. And on Tesla, I would be looking for the 235.50s. So here's your first take profit on the Tesla bounce. Good pop here. 235.85 is next resistance on Tesla. 15150 on the NAS on the bounce is what you would be looking for. Anything over that, then we've maybe potentially got some room to start testing that 20 period moving average. Good pop here. Sell for profits on the bounce of the NQ. I like the dip into the 200-day moving average on Nvidia on the short position. That would have been, you know, max potential 200 or the linear. And then we bounced, right? We bounced, green taking out red off of a significant level of demand here. You could have gotten long at Nvidia, rather, let's call it 440. So currently up $2 from that bounce. You know, if Nvidia is going to have any legs whatsoever, and this is the end of the selling, it needs to get over 44375. Aggressive little hammer candle trying to be put in on the 1 hour chart on the NQ futures. Again, a lot of work to do, still under supply, but it's trying to get back into this opening range here. So that original breakdown spot 15152 was the original breakdown spot, pushed all the way down to 106, so about 45 points. Should have taken profits on the way down. Again, you know, we have to take profits on the way down. Like, what are we really expecting, right? Like, you start getting 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 points. I mean, guys, we've got to take profits, right? So the level was clear here. That opening range was clear for that original breakdown. Take your profits and now kind of sit and see if it wants to get a little bit of a bounce, and then you can potentially look for something to the upside here. So I'm going to get off here for about 20-30 minutes. I'm going to go get a coffee, and then I'll be back to kind of check this price action, let it digest. But again, if there's any questions, put them in the gold members chat. I'll definitely take a look at the charts and try to help you guys out, but I'm out for right now. I'm taking a little break here. So again, trying to piece together a day. You know, took 3 trades, 2 of them winners, 1 of them a loser. Took 1 small trade on the NQ, not too much. So $57 on one, $62 on another account. Small day, right? So small day, and that's what it's about. You know, you take a couple trades, you know, you piece it together, base hits. It all compounds up. But I'll be back in a second, guys.